Hi everyone, it's Miss Celeste here, and I'm your professor for ECE 602. We are in week 2, part 7 of our course objectives. But before we get started, I just want to make sure that we are completing all the assignments for week 2 for ECE 602. And definitely I hope that you've given me the information for your practicum that does need to be completed within that 3-month period. So let's get started. So today we are going to talk about the ability to share views on the value of play through the lens of toddlers specifically. We really have to understand the power of play and what time that is needed for play and the benefits that play really gives to children when they're able to have these experiences and opportunities to play. But let's think about this. Children gain power through playing. They play with themselves, other people, and objects. Playing is a primary way that toddlers learn, and what they learn grows more and more impressive as the research gets increasingly sophisticated. And, the more that we learn through this process. I really like this quote on page 57 in our text because I really feel like we have to empower the opportunities for play. We have to make them part of our schedule. And we also have to make them part of our learning environment and also an extension of our learning environment. Because as much as children learn a lot, of course, within the classroom, inside the classroom, there's so much learning that is happening outside the classroom. So let's think about that. Let's think about ways that we can encourage more playing time and opportunities for learning within your environment. So what is the power of play? So children explore and play with objects, but they also play with people, right? And children and their friends. They play with adults and with each other through the classic research specifically indicated within this text. But they also label toddlers as mainly playing parallel to each other rather than with each other, right? So of course, if toddlers are not used to playing with others, they will do a lot of independent play most of the time. Or of course, play with one other friend. They don't necessarily go right into groups, as often as we would wish, but it does take a little time to kind of get comfortable, right, with that idea. But typically, the typical childcare program, something to think about, really relies a lot on, toys and other objects to be part of that curriculum. And many programs have, these things within their environment to, of course, support play, but these things may be recognized, as, not necessarily as useful as, the parallel play or opportunities for children kind of to play more one-on-one or of course within groups. But what I do want to encourage, it does mention having real life objects within the environment, such as 8 cartons and lids and frozen orange juice containers, or things that they're going to see often, which I think gives that more of a meaning and also more familiar, to them. So I encourage you to think about what's in your environment, inside or outside, and think about what you're incorporating within that environment. What kind of objects do you have, toys, material, whatever term that you use for them, that you have? Are they real life objects? Is it something of familiar? Is it something that they're going to see, in real life, which I think we have to really think about when we're bringing new material in the classroom or even material that they're using, because that can have such a meaningful effect when we're giving them experiences that they're definitely going to either experience soon or sometime within their life. I really like to incorporate real life pictures. So say if I'm showing or talking about animals or flowers or seeds or whatever that may be, I actually bring in real life seeds. I actually bring in real life flowers, or if I am showing pictures of, say, animals, they are real life animals. They are not cartoon. They are not anything but as real as I can make them. I encourage you kind of to do the same, because when they are in the real world, they are definitely going to see those real life animals at some point. So it just becomes a little bit more familiar. They make that connection, and it just creates that more meaningful learning experience for them. So why do we want to create time for play? Well, play promotes healthy development and critical thinking. It really enforces memory, helps children understand the cause and effect, but it really helps them explore their world and the role that they play in it, right? Physically, play, benefits children in many ways, such, as in fine and gross motor skills, which is a big part of the physical aspect that children gain when they are playing. Play also incorporates, their social and development, because it helps children learn how to interact with others, how to make choices. But through play, they really develop that understanding of social expectations and rules, and the play provides opportunities to share, their thoughts and ideas, and even how to listen and compromise, which is a big part of that learning. But play really helps children understand, the process of their emotions, because of course they're going to have challenges when they're compromising and playing with other children and sharing new ideas. So they have to really learn to navigate and self-regulate those emotions and kind of get through that process successfully. But in order to do that, they have to go through those experiences, right? And some children need a little bit more help than others, and that's okay. That is what we're there to do. So as you're observing situations or interactions with other children, try to better understand the needs of each of these children when they're in that environment, so you are ready and prepared to kind of engage and support them as soon as possible. But the benefits of play. So what does that look like? Play is needed for healthy brain development. Pretend play specifically stimulates a child's imagination and creativity. But play also develops the brain's executive function, and it helps, develop a child's theory of mind. So it really gets a child interacting with, that stimulation within their imagination and creativity. It really exercises many parts of their brain when they're able to explore, that environment of play. So I really empower you to kind of create those opportunities for children to have more time to play, and not necessarily look at it as just play, but how much significance it is for their development and how much it is needed for their development. So let's bring it back to the classroom. Let's bring it back to the schedule. Let's make more time for, outside time and games and free play and just many opportunities, so they can definitely experience that power of play. Okay. Well, thank you so much. I hope this has been insightful. Please let me know if you have any questions. I'm always here to support you. But until next time, stay healthy. And I will see you in our next slide. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.